there friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Ree and this is Weaving Fate Tarot and Divination. So here we are, day 11. As I set the space, I was getting ready for the reading. The topic came in loud and clear. This is going to be another ancestor reading for us today. I already felt called to pull a few of the channeled messages and a handful of the charms. It will be pick a card today and we'll try and get that up. Let's see, let's go ahead and get started then. Ancestor reading, that's coming in very strongly, as I mentioned. For those of you who wonder, I actually do a lot of ancestor readings. I think that is what calls me the most. I do have some mediumship training, and I think that is a gift that, at this time of year, it just starts pulling me towards the end of summer. It starts pulling me towards those types of readings. As we come into fall, end of summer, into fall, into the winter. And so I think there are going to be quite a few. My ancestors actually, the way that I do this is they come in and they are sort of like the translator between myself and your ancestors. And so let's see where this takes us today. So let's get our piles going here. So pile 1, we have the Merchant. Pile 2, we have the Scholar, the Merchant, the Scholar, and for pile 3, Spirit, Ancestors, here we go. And we have the Guide, Inheritance and Correction. Interesting. So these are our 3 piles. Let me get them set up a little differently here. And the charms that came out, and I'm not sure how they're going to play into all 3 readings today. I think I'm going to just lay them out and see as we get into each pile what wants to come through, what wants to be known. So we have the cat, I always forget the name of this, Asclepius? No, Caduceus, the Caduceus. Asclepius, is that a god? A Greek god? I need to look that up actually. We have the key, I don't know why that came through. The owl, and what's drawing my attention on this owl right now is that little round circle. And you notice this is actually a ring from one of my grandparents that got passed down to me, and that's what that's reminding me of for some reason. And I feel like that's going to be tied to the Guide card. I have a rose, little rose. I have a shell, little shell here. I'll just put that here. And we also have the scissors. So these will be our charms for the day, and we'll see how they come in. Just kind of going with the flow as usual, seeing what comes through. And then we have the three channeled messages. I think that's gonna go there, that's gonna go there, and this is going to go here. All right, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Pile 1, the Merchant, self-worth and trade. Pile 2, the Scholar, investigation and research. And pile 3, the Guide, inheritance and correction. All right, so timestamps will be below, and I shall see you at your reading. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So this is an ancestor reading, so a message from your ancestors. You picked the Merchant, and on here it says self-worth and trade. I'm feeling called to pull in the scissors here and the rose. And I'm hearing beauty unfolds like a rose. Beauty unfolds like a rose. The beauty of a rose unfolds. And then let's go ahead and see what your channeled message says. It says hesitant. I'm feeling like there's a part of this message is about divine timing. Cutting away the things that hinder you, that keep you from moving along. But recognizing that those things had a purpose in your life. There was a time and a place for it. There was a time for it, most definitely. And you're bringing certain things into balance. Mostly recognizing what your priorities are, and determining how these will, the importance of these things and how they'll play into your life moving forward. And so let's go ahead and get some more cards out. Let's see. What do I feel like pulling today? Let's see. For this pile. Ancestors. Pile, those who picked pile 1. There's like quite a few. It's interesting. As I started the reading, it seemed like there was a lot of people, a lot of spirits here, and then now they're starting to, you know, move out and letting those who have picked this pile, their ancestors, they're kind of stepping forward. It's almost like they're stepping out of this mist to come and speak to us. And that has something to do with the rose and the mist. And they're really concerned about how you view yourself, your self-worth. And for those who have found your way to this pile, this seems to be a theme with you, that you're kind of just, and the word trade here, right? You're kind of trading off your importance, sacrificing things that are important to you for someone else or something else. And they want to bring your focus back to you. They want you to see the things that light you up, that light your life up, the things that make your life beautiful and abundant, and the things that bring you joy. And I think you're already on this path to this. Like, you already have this understanding. This is not the first reading that you've had, or that you've come across that have brought this message to you. But they said that you're still a bit hesitant in following that guidance. And so you're finding another reading here. Finding another reading on YouTube that's telling you the same thing. And I think I'm hearing like you're hard-headed. Like, you need to be told this several times. You need to be told it many times in order for you to be like, okay, yeah, I know this is the message. I know this is the guidance. I know this is the path that I should take. And so, okay, that's it. So we have sickness. Let's get one more here. One of your ancestors are saying that this is something that they kind of like they nurtured you in this type of thinking, and they feel that where you're just constantly putting others over yourself, that is a sickness. And I think that the feeling that I'm getting is that they suffered greatly due to this, and it may have actually, by constantly sacrificing for others, and never taking care of themselves, that actually began to manifest on the physical plane. And that it may have contributed to their demise. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here. Second card is the Lotus, and what's coming through with this is they are they're reminding you that it doesn't matter what has happened in the past, but what has happened in the past, if it wasn't necessarily all good things, right, that can help nourish this change in your attitude, this change in your perspective, this change in your path and how you take care of yourself. And so I'm actually also hearing them say you can cut away, be picky, cut away the things that don't help you, that hold you back. So go ahead and cut away it, and it's okay. It's not gonna be detrimental to your joy or your happiness. In fact, by cutting this stuff away, you are allowing more space for that joy and for that abundance. Mostly joy, and there's peace. But I think that for most of you watching this, there is that joy that you're seeking to feel a certain way about when you wake up in the morning or when you go on about your day. There is a joy that you're wanting greatly, and they're saying that be picky, cut things away, cut away the things that don't really matter, that don't bring you that joy. You won't lose anything. Like, I think that there's a fear that, if I do this thing, then, I won't have that to go back to, or if I cut this out of my life, then, it removes a certain set of friends or a certain set of people from my life that what if I don't find others that can help me in that way, or that can, bring me some joy in that way. No, don't worry about that. That's what your ancestors are coming through to say. Don't worry about that. You will, by pursuing your joy. I'm getting, this came up in a reading I did recently. And it's being told to me again, so maybe you're watching this. But what you seek seeks you. So if you're seeking joy, the joy will seek you in return. If you're seeking out a certain group of people or a certain type of person to share in your joy and your happiness and your abundance, they are also seeking you. So don't be afraid of going that route. All right, let's see what else can we get. Ancestors, what else can you share with us today? I'm gonna use this. What else would you like to share today, ancestors? A pile one. Yeah. So we have the Knight of Coins and the Seven of Coins. Knight of Coins and Seven of Coins. What's interesting to me about these two cards is I feel like this card here is like you've been working over time towards something, work. I feel like this is tied to your career, that you feel you've gained a certain amount of success. But going that route it's like maybe it brought you joy at the start, but now it doesn't anymore. Now it's kind of monotonous or tedious. You're not enjoying it. The rewards that you thought you'd be reaping, or that you are reaping, are not coming to you in the way, are not bringing out the joy that it used to. I think that it used to. And that you're wanting more excitement, you're wanting more adventure, and you want more of that, the excitement you would feel as a child and when you discovered something, like that really sparked your interest, and that's, I feel, what you're looking for. So it's not the traditional meaning of this card, but this is what I'm feeling with the Knight of Coins, is that there's almost like this attachment to something that no longer, you know, does it for you, no longer works for you. It no longer gets you excited. And your ancestors, when they say, you know, cut things away, you're not really, I think you're the type of person that's afraid of burning bridges. Don't be afraid of that. I don't think that the bridge will really be burned. You know, you're not really burning a bridge, even though that's your fear, is that that would happen. Your ancestors are saying, again, cut away those things that don't bring you the joy. Don't waste your energy. And I feel like you are putting a lot of energy into it. Don't waste your energy on it. Take another route or cut it out. Go and pursue something else that does make you feel like that, bring up that childlike joy and excitement and anticipation of what's coming next. It's not a fear, it's more a anticipation. And this new journey might get off to a little slower start, but it will bring you what you're hoping for. If you're seeking joy, joy is seeking you, but you have to take the first steps towards it. You have to put in the action in the real world, the 3D world, to see a change there. I'm trying to remember what reading it was that actual message came out. I can't. It's been, what is this, day 11? I think this is day 11 of the 30-day challenge, right? All right, so that is part of the message. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, ancestors? Is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, ancestors? And I keep feeling like I shuffle the cards and then there's a pause. I shuffle the cards, there's a pause before getting the answer. And I'm trying to tap into that with your ancestors. Like, what is it? What is it that they're trying to get across? They're saying that you are an overly cautious person. And that's not, I'm not trying to be mean. But and they're not either. It's just, they're saying that this is kind of a fact, and it's part of your family. It's part of things that they pass down to you. That you're overly cautious, and you can, they say, without worrying about it, you can take a bit more risk to get reward. And they're like, stop pausing here. So adrift. And I think that causes you to feel a bit adrift. If you're overly cautious and you're not making decisions, and you're not making the decisions to get things moving, or to pursue that thing that is bringing you joy, that has caught your attention lately. Yeah, that's the right word. That's the right thing. They're saying that the not making the decisions, being hesitant, is something they've passed down to you, and they see that. And for some of them in the past, that was a necessity. They needed to cultivate that personality trait. But in your world, you don't. You don't need that. It just is kind of keeping you stuck. And, you know, for them, they're like, yeah, it's kind of a sickness within your ancestry, where people are stuck, or they don't pursue the thing that they know that they should be pursuing. And so, again, I think the insight from that is what's causing you to feel like things aren't moving, or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or you know it's not this, that there's something else you should be doing, but you don't know, because it's causing this indecisiveness by being hesitant. The path, it's almost like the path has been open to you, but the hesitancy, or the fear of making the decision, or the fear of putting, you know, you keep things on the back burner and it's not getting the chance to fully be ready for you. But there needs to be some action in order for you to get to that point. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You don't need to stay in this. Like, this is not your cross to bear. They said this is not your burden to carry. That you don't need to worry about that. Yeah, they're very supportive of you in that respect. They're like, don't be afraid. They're actually they're showing me they're like holding your hand and trying to push you forward and trying to push you towards that thing. And that's the insight that will heal, they say. That's the insight that will help you traverse this period in your life. This I feel like it's kind of like it is a bridge. I think that's why they keep saying the bridge. And things might unfold a little slowly at first, and part of that is because your energy is it's kind of stuck in this type of hesitation, and for some of it might be confusion. Like it might feel confusing, like you're not sure, you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting that little voice that you're hearing, or your ancestors are also actually reaching out to you, and they are talking to you, and they are trying to get this message across in many different ways. Probably you have a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities going on that are leading you to that thing that you already know is what will move you along. But that hesitation is, that energy of that hesitation is a little hard to shake. And I think it's because it's so, it's been so ingrained in your family. But they're saying that you can break it. You can be the one to break it, and you can be the one that shows the way for others, because that path is there waiting for you. That path is there before you. They're actually showing it to me like a book, and the book is getting dusty. That's how they're showing it. They're like, brush the dust off and open the book. Dust your hands off a little bit too. That's what they're saying. I don't understand that. I think that it's just like the energy, the old energy is just kind of sticking around. And so they're like, dust it off, get it off of your hands, get that book open and get going, start reading, start moving. The path is there before you, and it will likely unfold a little slowly because of that, but it will be beautiful, like the rose. Oh, is this actually, I think it is, yeah. Focusing. It will come into focus. That's what I just heard. And that was the point of that. It will come into focus. All right. Anything else you'd like to leave us with, Spirit? Maybe one last oracle card. Let's see. Is there any message? Actually, ancestors, is there any message that you'd like to leave? Final message. Air, spirit, and knowledge. And what is she doing? She's getting going, right? She's moving along. One. And this, brings me back to the Magician card. Like, you're past the Fool card. You're at the stage of the Magician where you're able to take the resources around you and get you to where you need to go. You have the knowledge to do so. You have the intuition that is guiding you. You have the ability to hear your ancestors and see the signs that they send you and the messages that they send you. And now it's time to act on it. And they say that's a good place to leave it. And so you won't be adrift anymore. You're going to be taking control. You won't be adrift. You're going to take control. You're going to steer your ship in the direction that it needs to go. And that is your message today. Pile 1, thank you for joining me. If you like the reading, please like and subscribe. If you enable notifications, you'll find out when the next reading comes out. This is day 11. Day 12 obviously is next. I am doing a 30-day reading challenge, so almost halfway there. Not quite yet. So we've got quite a few more to go. I'd like to thank you for joining me. I do love spending this time at the table with you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Alrighty, go make that decision. Take control of your ship there. Alrighty, bye-bye. Hello there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the pile with the Scholar, Investigation and Research. And right off the bat, I'm feeling like this is, your ancestors are like, this is a skeptic pile. This is the pile that's like, maybe not. I need more evidence that this is for real. And I feel like this might be tied in a little to pile 1. I see some ancestors hanging around a bit, so I'm pretty sure that if you felt called to pile 1, you'll likely get something out of that message. As for the charms, actually the first thing they want me to do is pull some names. And again, they're saying this is the skeptic. These are the skeptics. So let's pull some names. Maybe these names will have meaning for you. I've channeled these previously and just dumped them all in the bowl. And maybe it'll be, you know, speak to a question that you've had of your ancestors, or maybe even of spirit that you've kind of just been throwing out there, hoping to get an answer to. Hoping for something to believe in. That's what I'm hearing. So faith has been maybe a bit lacking lately for this pile. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. You might want to check out another pile. But this pile, again, I'm hearing these are the skeptics. So let's see. Let's get some names. Maybe we'll just pull together a message for you from your ancestors. So we got 3, and the names we have are Tara, Sarah, and what they're drawing my attention to, the ARA. So it may be maybe the names or the topic or the things that you're asking about or wondering about has something to do with that. And the last one is Jonesy. I hear Indiana Jones, something else. And I think that you've been kind of drawn here because you do have this love of history and of ancestry and of trying to figure out who you are through that looking to the past. And let's go ahead and see what your channeled message is. Channeled message says, be mindful, stay in this present moment. So that's quite interesting, actually. Especially, I just said that that you might be the type of person that loves looking to the past to try and figure out who you are. And what I'm hearing your ancestors say is that's all quite important. You know, obviously, it's how you got to where you are today, but that it isn't, they're saying the be all end all, but it's more than that. It isn't, how do I say it? What's happened in the past doesn't, what your ancestors did in the past doesn't necessarily reflect who you are today. And that is something that they say that you need to hear, and you really need to sit with that and take that in and think about it, because I feel like there is maybe some guilt, maybe some shame or embarrassment that comes from your past that you feel, you know, affects your emotions today or affects how you feel about yourself today. And they're saying that doesn't, because those weren't your actions. Those weren't the things that you did. That they're the ones. They are the ones who take responsibility for that. It is not your legacy. It is not your legacy, they say. Interesting. I need one more name, actually. They want... Okay. And they're really pointing out Sarah and Jones. And the last... And we have James come through. Here, Jimmy. Jimmy James. Jimmy is what I'm hearing. There is kind of a pull... I don't know why I pull to the southern states of America for me, but also across the sea. They're saying also across the sea, across the pond, across to Ireland. So maybe some of you have some Irish ancestry. And then try, I don't know, it'll resonate with you if this message is for you, if this is, you know, you found yourself here and you're like, okay, well, what is she talking about? These names and this message at the start you'll already know whether this message is for you. And they're saying, even if you're skeptical about it, because you are the skeptic, don't brush it away. If you feel a twinge of like your intuition is speaking to you, or you feel like, you know, this might be for you, stay and listen. So let's see. What else do you have for us, ancestors? They want me to pull these cards. It's almost like this feeling like you want to believe, yet you're very skeptical. You're like, yeah, it's probably just a load of horse, you know what? That's I keep getting that. I find that quite interesting. You're like, astrology, that's bull, you know what? You know, it's like, which is why it's funny, because these are the cards that I pulled. So they are saying fixed action, momentum, dedication, that you're kind of, that this belief is kind of keeping you locked in a box a bit. It's keeping you from being able to get the messages that they are trying to get across to you. I think they are really kind of hammering in some signs and synchronicities in your life, and you are not hearing it, not accepting it. You're seeing it, but you're just kind of, you know, blowing it off a bit because of they saying your lack of belief in it. And you know, it's understandable. A lot of people want to have evidence of things. They want to have, you know, it right in their face. But belief is something that it's called belief for a reason. You kind of just have to believe even without all of the evidence. And so, you know, if this is just entertainment for you, that's fine too, right? I mean, that's you know, part of it. But maybe this will spark, maybe the names, maybe the message will spark a little bit of faith, they say. Because they're all here. They're all kind of surrounding the table right now. And let's see. The next is waning crescent moon, surrender, restoration, and trust. Now, for some of you, I think that you're going into, we're talking about legacy and we're talking about ancestors. And, you know, that was very strong message today to do the ancestor reading. I think some of you are coming into some legal situations having to do with estate, having to do with inheritance. And I think that, you know, perhaps you're looking for answers regarding that. Let's get some more cards. All right. No, not this one. This actually being called too. They're like, well, this will be. I love your ancestors. They're really kind of sarcastic in their humor. It's quite funny, actually. I love it. So they're saying use these cards because they're witchy cards, and they're like, oh yeah, that'll just kind of blow their minds. But there is something in here that is keeping you here watching this, which is that's the whole point. They're kind of, I want to say they're kind of messing with you, but in a fun way, and not, they're not being mean. They're just you know, it's part of, they say, part of the game that they like to play, that you like to play within your family. And so we have darkness falls. Within you live the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. And so this comes back to that idea of like legacy, right? Of things that happened in the past that you feel reflect on you and it affects you emotionally. But they're saying it doesn't. You need to recognize that that was them and this is you, right? What they did are the things that they have to take responsibility for, but you're not responsible for their actions, and that you can just work at letting that go. That's not gonna, it sounds like it's not gonna be an easy thing for you to do because it has affected you so greatly. But they're saying just work at that. Work at letting it go. Work at letting this feeling of being responsible and holding their guilt or their shame or embarrassment. They're saying work at letting that go because it isn't your burden. It isn't your cross to bear. It isn't your burden to carry. This will swallow you whole if you let it. So they're highly encouraging you because they do care about you. They may have made some bad decisions in life, but that's not yours. And they've passed from their physical lives into the spirit world, and they are, with that comes insight, with that comes knowledge, with that comes the ability to see what was right and what was wrong for them. And they're saying this isn't you, so don't carry it with you. Work at letting it go because it is not your legacy, it is not your responsibility. And that's what this card is. Cut it out of your life, I'm hearing. Get rid of it. Cut it out of your life. It's not for you to carry. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, now for this one. Ancestors, what other messages do you have for pile 2 today? Again, be mindful, stay in the moment, stay in the moment. We have battle. I think I need a few cards here. And we have transformation. Yeah. And some of this estate stuff, some of this inheritance stuff is tied to what happened in the past. And it's probably not something pleasant that you're going through, but they're saying that this is the opportunity for you to break that ancestral, it's a trauma. It's an ability for you to break that ancestral trauma. They're saying it doesn't mean that you cannot, that you shouldn't fight for what is rightfully yours, but recognize that some of what's going on within your family is something that you don't need to carry forth into your own. If you're dealing with siblings or cousins that I'm hearing aunts, maybe uncles, aunts, cousins, siblings, instead of recognize that they are behaving a certain way for a certain reason, probably due to this legacy that was left you, but you don't need to carry that with you. You know what's yours, you know what's rightfully yours. You don't need to get emotionally engaged with them about it. You can go ahead and be in control of what you can control, which is your own emotions, your own way of doing things, your own way of seeing the world. And again, they're bringing me back to belief. and I don't know, like something about, I know first for some of you, I mean, it might have to do with, you know, we're looking at research and investigation. It might have to do with the will. And there's I think that there's like this idea that you have about it that, and I know this is very specific, and I know this isn't for everyone that's watching this, but for this specific person, it feels like that intuition that you have about the will, that intuition that you have, that believe that, because that is what will lead you to what you're looking for, this thing that you're looking for. So that was quite specific, and that's really just for one person that's watching this today. So let's get a few more, let's get some tarot cards this time. Let's get some tarot. This is a tarot reading. What else do you have to say, Spirit? Well, the ancestor about the ancestors coming through for the person with the legal thing. I'm asking them to take a step back because they are kind of like really here. They wanna get that message across to you. And I said that out loud because it's important. So if you're kind of questioning yourself and you're like, you know, not really believing that you're getting the answers and the signs that you think you're getting, you are. And now I'm going to ask them to take a step back and allow some of the other ancestors to come through. And they want me to do another channeled message. All right. They're also pulling my eye to this shell. And the shell has a little bit of a hole in it. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Wait. Can you see that? The shell has a hole in it. And that's what they're drawing my eye to. And the message is, stop looking behind you, look forward. So a little bit in keeping with that, be mindful, stay in this present moment. So for those of you that are not going through that legal situation, let's see. Transformation is still here. The idea of belief, the importance of belief, yet being discerning about what it is you believe. That's coming through for everyone. And we have strength, coins, the 5 of coins or 5 of pentacles, and the 10 of swords. So let's see. Yeah, there in this pile, and this does tie a little bit to that, there's this feeling of lack. There's this feeling of not having enough, not understanding why, and this probably ties into the legacy, and it brings you a lot of anxiety and stress. I think some of you are going through a transition right now, and that's that's why the whole skeptical part of it is coming through. Is you are wondering when this is going to end, like why is it taking so long? And some of you are regretting actions that you took in the past, and you're like, man, I regret that. I wish I hadn't done that. I feel like that just totally, messed with my future, messed with my standing in the world or my reputation or something along those lines. And your ancestors are here to say, you're working through this. You don't need to put yourself down in any way. You don't need to regret. Some things happen for a reason in order for you to transform. And I know that's a hard thing. Like, that's not an easy thing for me to say, that things happen for a reason, especially, I mean, I've been through that where I had someone tell me that. I'm like, wow, that is the worst thing you could have said in this moment. You didn't validate my feelings. You just are kind of like, hey, whatever, move on. And that's not what this message is. And your ancestors want you to know that. They want you to know that what it has provided you, this thing that has happened, the situation that has happened, has provided you this ability to make a big transformation in your life, to really change the direction that your life is going for the better for you. And that you wouldn't be in this space, you wouldn't be going through it if you didn't have the strength to do so. That you really are a very strong person. And there's a lot of strength in your belief in yourself. And part of this is they want you to feel like it's not all on you. It's not all on you. You have the ability. You can trust in spirit. I think for some of you, the skeptic group, right? That it's hard to be like putting trust in the universe or putting trust in spirit to get you through, or that things are going to work out, right? And that's all this anxiety and stress. But your ancestors want you to know that you'll get through it. You're in the transition now, but you're in the cocoon now, but you will come out of it. You will come out of the cocoon. And things will be wonderful. That's what that was the thing they actually said. Let me get one more card, maybe two. Actually, I'm gonna pull. I don't have this one out, so I've got to open the box up. The Angels and Ancestors pocket oracle. There's something. I didn't pull it out because I actually pulled it out earlier, and I was like, no, I don't think that this is the deck. But it seems like this is the deck that they want me to use. And they're like, there's a certain amount of space for you to there's a certain amount of space for this card, so I don't know. Oh, the ancestors in this group. Yeah, they're fun. And some of you are like, no, my ancestors were not fun at all. I don't know what you're talking about. But in passing, they're coming across as quite insightful. They understand you well. And they do have, I think, a humor that you also have. I can feel that present in this reading too. All right. And the final message, ancestors, for this group, I know this is warrior. Be fearless and stand strong. And that goes quite well with this strength card. So be fearless, stand strong. Think about this whole faith thing, you know. Think about how faith plays into your life. Not just faith in yourself, that's important, but also faith in the world around you and the people around you, and whether the seen world or the unseen world. There's something there for you to look into, to follow, to gain from, to gain knowledge and insight from, to better understand yourself and what you're capable of doing. And so that is the message for you today, pile 2. Thank you for joining me. I hope this message resonated in some way, and I hope for those of you that are a bit skeptical that you will stop and think about it and see how this might play into your life. Will it help, what's the word? It will bring more fullness to your life, I think. Not necessarily just this reading, but an idea of your idea of how you interact with the unseen world, with spirit, with whatever deity you follow or are attracted to. And so if you like this reading, please subscribe. That helps out a lot. Also, if you'd like to know when the next video is coming out, enable notifications. I didn't say it at the start, but this is part of my 30-day reading challenge. This is day 11, I believe. And so there will be more to come. thank you for joining me. I really love spending this time at the table, and I hope to see you in the next one. Alrighty, bye-bye. Hey there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the card, the guide, inheritance, correction, and I feel like some of you from Pile 2 have made it to Pile 3, and if it's vice versa, you might want to listen to the reading in Pile 2, because there is something about inheritance there. And I think that, you know, the message, not to bring too much into this pile's reading, but the message was about how they're trying to, your ancestors are trying to get your attention. And this is quite, I mean, really, they're trying to get your attention. Alrighty, so pile 3, what message do your ancestors have for you today? Let's go ahead and get the channeled message out. It says, listen to your gut. Your intuition won't lead you astray. And the bell here is also, you know, part of this. Listen to it. If it resonates with you, if it's catching your attention, especially, okay, for this group, especially if you're noticing like something that, I want to say out of the corner of your eye is what I'm hearing. But I think that if you're noticing things, or like a word of a song just pops out at you, or, you know, you're seeing someone walk down the street and a thought pops into your head, there's something there. That's the type of, that's your intuition talking to you. That spirit talking to you, trying to get your attention, trying to bring your attention to something. And they want you to open yourself up at that point to, without I want to say without feeling emotion, but for some of you, you feel your intuition through emotions. So that's not quite what I'm going to say, but to be able to be in observing that emotion and that observer mind, where you're like, okay, well, why did I feel that? Without actually being overtaken by the emotion. Does that make sense? So that's what's coming out first. And then I'm feeling like this cat keeps coming out and drawing my attention. And it's not so much, like I'm hearing curiosity, but it's not so much. When they talk about curiosity, they're saying, be curious about these feelings that you're getting. Like, why are you feeling that way? And I know that's why we've got all this water coming out. You know, water is associated with emotion. And the keys, I think the key to understanding a certain situation that you're in, or a question that you might be posing to the universe or to spirit or to your ancestors, that the key is in understanding the emotion. The key is in understanding the emotion. And I think that that's why we've got a key, and we've got the shell, which we find in the ocean from water. All right, let's get, I feel like I need to get another message. Almost like that didn't catch your attention. That's what the ancestors are saying. This didn't quite get your attention like they wanted it to. Pull another one. So I'll bet that you really like to see the channeled, like people pulling charms or channeled messages out of a bowl. So I am actually going to pull another charm too. I think they want me. It says someday, somewhere, somehow. And I'm hearing West Side Story. So interesting. All right. And a charm. They say that you want more charms. So let's see, a charm for pile 3, just for pile 3, and we have the flower. Again, I'm feeling like I heard the sound of music. Like somebody here really likes musicals, and so do your ancestors. I guess you kind of got it from them. Maybe you sing, maybe you love watching shows on Broadways or musicals, and Yeah, I'm hearing like the sound of music there. And I'm going to pull another one of these cards. That's what they're kind of calling me to do. I'm just going with the flow with this reading. There's a someday, somewhere, somehow. And then I'm hearing, how do you solve a problem like Maria? But the aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks. I do feel that some of you are trying to make your way in theater. So I do have some singers, some actors here, and I think you found your way here because perhaps you've run into some setbacks. Like you have all these hopes and dreams, and maybe they're not quite panning out just yet. Let's pull a name here. This is a bowl of names, so you can see it. Let's pull 2, 3. We got 3 names here. Yep, you like the charms and the pile 3. You guys like that. I have the name Jonathan. Jonathan. I'm hearing with a TH or an N. Jonathan with an N. Of course it would be an N, right? Joe Nathan. Ellie. The name Ellie. And lastly, we have Jonathan. Why do I feel like I need to put the scissors right here? I'm hearing some things need to get cut out of your life. I'm not sure if that message is for Jonathan or it is a Jonathan that needs to be cut out of your life, but that might be a message for you. And then I have Janice. Janice. What I'm hearing. Janice. Yanis. I don't know, maybe that has some meaning for you. All right, so let's see. Let's get some more cards here. Let's see what Spirit and your ancestors actually really want you to know, because we are tuning into ancestors. This is a lively bunch of ancestors also. I know the last, I said if you pile 2, you made your way here. I do have some pile 2 ancestors here, and they are quite a lively bunch, but it's a lot of different performers is what I'd like to say. A lot of different performers here. What would you like to share, ancestors? What would you like to share? I hear so much music. There's a lot of music going on. I have visitation, loved ones, benevolent guides, and revelations. And that's what I feel like this reading is. It's like, hey, we see you. You know, here we are. We're coming in. You are very loved. And they do help you. They are helping you. They're helping you along here. And they want me to say again, it's just a small setback. I'm here. Don't let it get to you. Someday, somewhere, somehow, you are on the path you're supposed to be. You're following your dreams. You're following the passion. You're following these things that really light you up. And it's not leading you astray. It's not leading you wrong. That's the message I'm getting from your ancestors. They are definitely your support team, your cheering squad. A lot of you have, the people watching this one, your ancestors are a big part of your spirit team. And you have a talent also that is that helps you see beyond the veil quite easily. Like, you have a lot of things that happen that you notice and that you recognize that it's spirit talking to you. And I think that you're kind of aware of that already. Like, you kind of have that feeling like, oh yeah, well, that knocking was grandma, or that's a spirit knocking on the table, or that's that door slammed because of something, right? Some of you have lived in haunted houses and you're very aware of the spirit world around you. Like, that's this pile here. Although I know that there are some of you that came from pile 2 that are just like, okay, whatever, lady. But it's a thing. It happens to people. And I think for some of you who did come from pile 2, your ability to see beyond actually is passed down. It's been passed down also. You're not the first or only person in your family that has this ability. Yeah, these gifts are really tied to ancestry. For those of you watching this pile, what can you share with us, ancestors? What message do you have? I feel like there's not one big message like the other piles were. This is more like a, hey, we're here, and you know we're here, and we're just coming by and saying hello and validating some things that you're thinking about or were wondering about, and yep, we're here. So have the 8 of Pentacles, and again, yeah, that does come down to, I feel like work. You're working hard at this dream of yours, and they are really encouraging you to keep going. I think some of you are kind of like, you know, yeah, I've tried so hard, maybe I'm going to stop. And what's being brought to mind is one of my own family members really wanted to be a dancer, and you know, she was turned down so many times, and then she finally got a break, and then she kept going. She didn't stop. She knew that that's what she wanted to do, and she loved it, and she kept at it, and now she's doing really well. She's pretty successful. It's actually opening the doors. Some of these current jobs she's doing are opening doors that she didn't think would be open to her anymore. And it's the diligence, it's the work. It's for some, this right here is saying course correct, but it's not. They're not asking you course correct away from your passions and your dreams. Perhaps for some of you, the course correct is seeing what other way you can get to that point. That's your goal. So I think part of this is, you know, listening to your gut. If another opportunity presents itself and you're like, hey, you know, it's not exactly what I was wanting, but this might open up a way for me to get there. So that's coming through. All right. So keep at it. Don't stop. Absolutely do not stop. You got a great cheer section going on here from your ancestors. We've got the Prince of Wands. Yeah, and this is tied into that correction, course correction. I think some of you just kind of took off to go do something that maybe wasn't ready for you time-wise. If you're looking at divine timing about certain things are presented to you at certain times, certain doors are open to you at certain times. Some of you may have like rushed past a few steps, and that's what's causing some of the setbacks. And your ancestors are saying, you know, that you can course correct. You know, you can, you know, take a step back, look at the situation again. What is it that, you know, how can I get there? Is this the only way to get there? Or are there other steps I can take that will open up other doors and opportunities? Again, they're saying don't stop. You keep going. You know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. All right. And we have the Emperor, which, you know, is the face that you show to the world, right? This is your external world. This is how you are presenting yourself. I'm hearing fake it till you make it. For some of you, you need that. You need that type of confidence. You need to bring that energy in order to kind of move out of certain energies that might be holding you back, right? Maybe some of this. The Emperor knows. The Emperor knows when's the right time, is what I'm hearing. So think about that. And notice that the cards, as they're coming out here, I feel like they're steps. And so, ooh, and also a little bit of chaos. Maybe be aware, Ellie and Janice, that, I don't know why I said that. Be aware that maybe if you feel like I have to do this step, and then that step, and then that step, and then that step, if you're that type of person, and not Prince of Wands energy here, maybe you need to just kind of throw the steps to the wind and just go for it. Yeah, that is a message for one of you. And it's not just Ellie and Janice. That's a message for someone else. But I was saying they're steps, right? Like for some of you, I'm doing this thing or that thing, and or maybe you feel like there's one step forward, two steps back. Yep, and we have the Tower that might be bringing everything down in order for you to move forward again. And this isn't always a bad, a lot of people say this is a bad card. It's bad energy. It's, it's, something that you don't want to run into, that you don't want to have to experience. But sometimes this experience is what moves you and what gets you. Well, I won't say sometimes. All the time. The Tower moment is what moves you into the space that you need to be. And notice it's even with the Emperor here. And that is the correction also, the course correct. The Tower card is the card of course correction. What else can we get from this? We have the Four of Wands to create a stable foundation for forward movement, for what's coming in for you. I'm wondering if I should do the rest of these. I don't think so. I think that what really wanted to come out was the Tower, and it sure did. So let's get a few more oracle cards, and then I think I need to wrap this up. So let's see. I want this one, yes, because we have the water coming in. So this is calling to me a bit. I'm hearing your ancestors say, do your magic. Do your magic, sweetie. Do your magic. And I think that whatever it is that you're doing, that is a true gift. And that's why you're so passionate about it. It is a true gift of yours. It is a true skill of yours. So don't stop pursuing that. I'm hearing, don't stop believing. Wash away what you don't need. And that might have to do with Jonathan there. Let things flow is what I just heard. Let things flow. What are we letting flow, ancestors? I think that some of this is the sadness or the feeling of frustration and annoyance that from whatever setback you've run into. Let it wash away. Let it flow. Let it flow. And I keep hearing songs from musicals like, let it go, let it flow, let it wash away. Yeah, that's quite fascinating. This tying in. So also music, they talk to you through music. Your ancestors definitely talk to you through songs and performances that perhaps you're watching or you're a part of. Or I think also there are very dramatic moments where your ancestors come through, like someone says something to you and you're like, oh, the insight, and it's like such a dramatic moment, and that's them. They're commandeering a conversation or a dialogue. yeah, your ancestors like to do that. They're coming in and they're bringing you insight and just signs for you to know that they are there and they are supporting you and they love you and they see what you're capable of and they definitely want to help you get there. I think that for some of you, you may have been thinking, you know, you kind of lost belief in yourself or belief in maybe a higher power that's, you know, like perhaps you listen to a lot of readings and they're always like, yeah, go for it, go for your, pursue your dreams, you know, that's what you need to do. And you keep hearing that, oh, it's just around the corner, it's just around the corner. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you it's just around the corner, because I'm not being shown that. What I am being shown is that you need to believe in yourself, because you are quite capable of this. This is the path you're meant to be on. Yeah, that was a very strong message coming through to you from your ancestors. Let me get one last card. And they're like, this might be dramatic. I don't know. We'll see. You have a fun, this fun set of ancestors. All right, let's see. Yeah, quite dramatic. I think this is all part of your energy too. I'm feeling some of you are probably quite you approach the world as if it is your stage. And so we have broken, and I think that is what we're talking about here, that, you know, maybe you feel the dream is broken. And I'm hearing even a broken, like even the tree breaks, yet it's still, there's still sustenance, there's still a role for it to play. There's still, again, see, a role for it to play. There's still something there for you. It may not be like, if there's a certain path that you're following and you think that's the only way to be or the only way to get there, there are other ways. That's what's coming through with this card. And maybe that broken, what was broken is this tower moment. But what follows is stability. And look at the birds. I'm like really being drawn to the birds. The yellow birds, yellow birds, yellow bird. That's a song also. My grandmother used to sing that, yellow bird, all the time. Singing about love. That's a song about love. About being alone. About wondering whether what you love loves you back. Wondering about what is there for you. And I think that message came through because you are love. It is there for you. That's been the whole point of this message, is to remind you that there is, that what you long for longs for you. What you seek seeks you. If you're seeking it from a place, an authentic space, your authentic self, from your true being, it's also seeking you. And so again, let me reiterate, don't stop believing. It's there for you. And I feel like that's it for the message today. So, pile 3, thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed this reading. I really loved sharing the table with you today. And if you did get something out of this message, if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. That definitely helps me out a lot. Like the video. Go ahead and comment if you'd like. Share your story. And I hope you'll join me for the next one. This is, I'm not sure if I told you this, but this is day, if I said it in the last reading or the one before, but this is day 11 of my 30-day challenge. So I will be back quite a few more times, and you know, this will be something I continue doing. I'm just putting out a lot of videos all at once because it's this challenge that I kind of brought myself to, I guess, or spirit kind of brought me to it, you know, this 30-day challenge. Alrighty, so thank you for joining me. Stick with it. I can't wait to see your success. Alrighty, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Love you lots. Bye.